Hey guys, it's Chris from Steeda, and we're actually on our way to Ocala, Florida, to meet up with the guys at Obsessed Garage. They've been working on a 2018 Mustang GT build, 80 to 90% track oriented, but also streetable as well. They reached out to us a couple months ago, and we worked with our team along with them to build the right Steeda package to complement the rest of the parts in the car. We're really excited to work with them, check out their setup, and get these parts installed to really help them bring this car to the next level. And on top of that, if you're joining us from the Obsessed Garage YouTube channel, welcome to Steeda. And for those of you that are Steeda followers and have been for a while, we're really excited to take on this new venture. It's the first time we've actually done anything with another YouTube channel, so couldn't be more happy to work with Obsessed Garage and bringing things to the next level for them on their builds. So let's get to it.
What's up, everyone? Chris, welcome to Obsessed Garage. This, believe it or not, is our entryway where we pack boxes. We have about, on this side, we have 2,000 square feet. And we have about 14 employees on this side of the building that pack and ship all the stuff we do. But I started making videos as a form of therapy, just in my garage, letting people in, and turned into now we're providing solutions to people all over the world. But this, we have to use every square inch. This would normally be an entry where you would have like merchandise and stuff, but this is where we have two of our packers packing boxes. In here is our podcast studio. This is where we do our live streams. We just had a little Debbie bracket challenge the other day. Look that Google search that. But Chris does all our bookkeeping. He does all our hiring. Also does a lot of the digital side of inventory management. We have right now we have about I think we just hit 1,000 products. So we have 1,000 individual products, and so Chris pays the bills and and make sure that people's paychecks show up. But this is where we host our live stream, where we have an iMac Pro, and then really like actual radio quality, professional grade equipment.
It's all the sound deadening and stuff.
Yeah. So this room sounds quite a bit different than the other, but this was my office that I had to give up, and so I don't have an office. I keep losing my office as we hire new people. I actually I own a building up the street that we're trying to get permitting done so that we can move our distribution, all the stuff you see into there. And then out here is where we pack and ship everything. So the concept I had in the beginning was that I have all these things that I've modified or put together, like buckets or a pressure washer or a car washing kit. And the idea was, what I learned in sharing my life on YouTube was that people wanted links, like where do I get this stuff? What fittings do I need for my pressure washer? What towels should I buy? And so I came up with the concept of, rather than being a retailer, to curate. And so I'm picking products from all over the place and then putting them together. And so my idea was that people would want what I deem to be the best products, and they would want my advice because I'm a crazy person, and it's turned out pretty darn well. So we do, right now we do somewhere on the order of 900 to $1 million for a month out of this little 2,000 square foot building. Wow. With the roughly 14 people in here, and so my mom is in charge of the quality control packaging. We meticulously tape and bubble wrap everything. Lewis and the whole team here, they all make sure that the product goes out. They're double checking. We're still using pen and paper, but at some point, maybe probably like Steeda uses, maybe we're going to go to barcode scanning and stuff like that at some point.
Awesome.
Here. But it wasn't too long ago we were shipping this stuff out of my parents' house. So Aaron here runs all of the, hey, where's my package? He's also making sure he touches every product, everything that goes out. He weighs and measures and makes sure that we're, getting the best rate from UPS and from our, USPS. And then we, generally we sort of stack up orders here. We're making a lot of use out of a little tiny space. Awesome. And so we have our pickers pick the product, they put it on the shelf, the packers grab the product, they package it, they ship it out. My wife's over there helping stock shelves because we had we call it a capacity sale. I hired all these new people, so we're trying to figure out how many orders we can actually do, and then trying to find efficiencies, figure out where we're making mistakes and where we can improve and what hours we need to do and how much overtime we need to do and stuff like that when we have these big rushes of orders.
That's what it's all about.
But the concept for me has not been to create a bunch of private labeled stuff. It's to find find the best processes and best products in the world, and then bring them in here and provide them to people at at whatever their list price is. And so my hope is that I'm putting in more effort by making videos and showing people how things are done. And my hope is that then people will honor that information and they'll I don't run sales all the time and discount, and the only thing I ask is that you pay in a lot of cases a little bit lower than retail pricing, and if I negotiate better pricing from the manufacturer, and then they pay for the shipping cost, which is very counter to current culture, right? Everything has to be shipped for free.
Amazon, thanks.
Yeah, we're kind of proving that wrong. I mean, imagine you call up Amazon and say, hey, what fittings do I need for my pressure washer? Forget it. There's no video that's showing you how to do it. You're on your own. Well, we're providing a curated service, if you will, of products like Tool Grid for organizing your cabinets, and then finding tire dressings that that maybe otherwise wouldn't have existed unless we would pursue this, and chasing hoses. And for instance, like these hoses that you see here just came in, the fittings on them weren't very good, and so I asked them to take Continental Frontier. This is the best hose on the planet. Very different than the Continental hose you get at Home Depot. This is what they use in industrial applications. Well, we're applying it to garden hoses for people because I want an industrial grade hose on my hose, on my little hose reel outside the house. And so we're taking all this professional grade stuff and applying it to, prosumers, if you will, people who aspire to be pros who probably aren't really pros, much like me. So next door is where I do all my filming, we produce all the videos, we test all the products. This is my giveaway Civic. This was a Civic I had when I was, when I was 19 years old. So I bought another one, and those aren't the wheels that are going to stay on it. But this we're going to do a giveaway, a raffle here soon. I'll be 150K into that thing when it's all said and done.
Jeez. But
you can see we have the stuff coming in. This drives me crazy. I want to have a facility where we can, when stuff comes in, there's somewhere to put it. But right now we have 3,600 square feet, 20 people, and not enough space. So over here is what we call technical support and media. And so the media guys that do all the video producing, they do all the editing and stuff for me. In the beginning, I did this all myself. I shot the video on the camera, set it up. Half the time it was out of focus, half the time you couldn't hear my voice, hear what I was saying. So we now we have we have a Red camera and a Canon C200, and so we're hopefully still giving people that same live in the garage feel, because that's what it is, me fumbling through stuff, and then but getting better angles and things that I'm not able to get by myself. And so Tommy and Jeff here do all our tech support. They're answering questions all day. People, hey, what fitting do I need? What product do I need? We don't have a phone line, so you can't call us. Again, I'm sort of changing the rules a little bit. I'm making up the rules myself, because I don't want to be on the phone with weird old dudes all day. And so instead, we're send us an email and we'll determine if you're a weird old man. If you're not, then we'll help you out, kind of thing. So this. Again, we're using every square inch. This is the entryway that shouldn't have humans in it, but yet we've got humans in it. So, and then the guys in here do, again, we have 3 separate workstations. We're setting up a server So Jim's here helping us wire it up, but you know, the concept is that we're, you know, going to eventually have a big giant, you know, bullpen of creatives to help, you know, make labels for bottles and create products in Shopify and write descriptions. And so right now these guys are jack of all trades, having to do everything. I mean, they're running the wires themselves. So that's what we're doing. Then in here, this is where, you know, we sell the flooring and the lighting and the hose reels and the cabinets, the concept, my goal. You know, I love detailing. That's where it sort of got started. But my real passion is the garage. So cars go in the garage. Detailing happens in the garage. Your pressure washer goes in the garage. Tools are in the garage. Modifications happen in the garage. And so the anchor of my obsession is this place, this space. And so we're again doing a lot with a little space. This side here is 1,600 square feet. So I sell FIAC air compressors and Prevost piping that comes from France, and that pressure washing system on the wall there. We sell lots of those. Those are, believe it or not, $300 set of buckets that people buy every day that are a, you know, sort of a culmination of my life's pursuit. For instance, those buckets came from me buying at one point, I don't know why I remember the number, but it was 27 buckets. So I bought buckets from every company I could think of and Google searching and trying to find from US Plastics and Letica and Uline and everywhere I could find buckets, 4 gallon or 3 gallon, 4 gallon, 5 gallon, 6 gallon, 7 gallon, try to figure out what's the best size, what's the best style, what's the best type. And then, for instance, I found out that 2-inch casters are a little too small, and so 3-inch might be better. And so those buckets, I probably spent $3,500 figuring it out. And then I've been using them for a number of years. I finally decided, you know, maybe other people might want that too. Of course, I made that video. Everybody says I'm the dumbest human ever because you could buy a bucket at Home Depot for $5, and yet we've sold, I mean, we've probably approached 1,000 sets of those buckets at this point.
Jeez.
Other people I believe, want that, you know, that information without having to spend $3,500 to figure it out. And so I'm able to provide people a solution. Cost me, what, $220, we sell for $300, I make a 30% margin. That's how it goes. And so we have, I'm a big proponent of scissor lifts. I like scissor lifts, especially for detailing, so I can access the whole car. This is a twin bush lift. We have sonic cabinets, which I also sell and provide to people. This, I guess, technically is my office. I always wanted to have an office in the garage looking at the cars. And so this is a custom countertop that we will be providing here soon to people. And then Sonic MSS Plus cabinets. Of course, we do the flooring and everything, the stools. But the goal would be to be able to provide every square inch of the garage, the paint, the baseboards, the lighting, the everything, the air conditioning. So at some point, I'm going to be able to provide full custom solutions from start to finish of, well, hopefully, you know, what I found to be the best products on the planet. And so then, you know, I'm a big proponent of trying to keep things as organized as possible, which is really difficult when you have 20 people in 3,000 square feet, but keeping tools, you know, mega organized. And this is from a company out of Denmark, or out of the Netherlands, Sonic Tools. And then doing things like this. This is that tool grid stuff I talked about next door. Just trying to figure out how to improve things and align things. My latest project has been, I bought every single Milwaukee tool. They allowed me to become a dealer, which doesn't happen very often for, you know, small new companies like mine. But I bought every single Milwaukee tool on the planet. And then I've determined that I wanted 53 of them in my cabinet. And so now I'm building an inventory of product to then teach people how to buy it. And so, you know, I walked around for 3 months with the 70-plus page catalog of power tools, and then made the decision to just, well, send me every single one of them. So I'm trying to learn the specs. I'm not a carpenter. I'm not a mechanic, but I like the stuff. And if I'm going to do it, I want to do it right. And so I'm probably the first person on the planet to buy every single tool they make, and then open every one of them, touch and feel every one of them, and then choose which ones I want to have in my cabinet. that. And then my next step would be to pick the saw blades and the drill bits and the hex bits and then create, you know, packages and systems.
Your ideal package.
Yeah, here's the ultimate, and then we dumb that down to the absolute essentials, the automotive essentials, the, you know, home DIY essentials, and kind of work our way from, you know, from start to finish, teaching people how to buy it, much like I'm teaching people how to buy a pressure washer. You know, which pressure washer do you want and why? And so, you know, I did that at one point. I bought every pressure washer I could think of in the electric space, and we tested them all and figured out which ones, you know, which ones made sense. And so that's kind of what we do. I'm chasing the dream of being able to provide people what I want in my garage. And so we don't sell 10 car soaps, we sell 1 car soap. We don't sell, you know, 10 lines of, you know, ratchets, we sell 1 ratchet, you know, and so the concept here is to make a choice. I used to be I was in wealth management for 15 years, and people would always ask me, you know, what mutual fund should I buy? And I would have to pick one. Somebody has to make the decision, right? And so a lot of people, it seems, have entrusted me to make the decision on what to buy. And so this is our little shop, and the goal at some point would be to have a couple hundred acres and build a massive destination. You know, before the virus, we had, you know, dozens and dozens of people would come a week just to kind of check it out. And so I think I could build a place that people might want to come to and create excuses for that. So anyway, we're going to work on Jeff's S550 Mustang and work on some of the suspension components, and glad you guys are here to come check out my little spot. It's we do a lot with a little, but it's been a dream to go from sharing my neurosis into turning it into a passion-driven business, you know, and hiring a bunch of people that are also passionate about it too, to help me, you know, leverage it and to provide the world with these solutions I'm talking about. So that's what we do.
It's so refreshing to see all of this in action, because nowadays in the days of Amazon and Walmart and all these big box stores, you don't get that personal touch anymore.
Right.
And that is literally what your business is all about.
I think so. Yeah, I hope so. I like the hope so. We're starting to get more like degrees of separation. You know, there you have the original people who watch the videos, who were part of it, that support it from the beginning, and now that person's told somebody else, and then that person told somebody else, and so we're now starting to get orders from people who don't know me from anybody, which is great. Which means I think you have a real brand and real business.
Starting to catch on.
Yeah. It's probably similar to the Steeda story of, you know, you start small and you know, it eventually grows, and you know, and it's passion driven, and then
it's all about the passion.
Yeah, you end up with a bunch of passionate people around you, you know, helping drive the organization forward. And so that's what I'm doing now. I'm more of a people manager than I am an engineer type, like I aspire to be. And so if I can inspire people, then they can take me to, you know, heights that I could never get to myself. So that's what we do every day, and hopefully I'll be able to continue to do it.
Awesome. Well, we're happy to be here, and we're excited to get to work on this car.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Appreciate it.
Hope you guys enjoyed that tour. Here we have Jeff, the owner of this beautiful 2018 Mustang GT. So tell us why we're here and what you plan on doing with this car.
So I'm originally born and was raised in South Florida, so I'm actually right close to the Steeda warehouse. So I always passed by Steeda, ironically, when I went to work. And so I was like, oh, Steeda. I was like, oh, I like Mustangs. Oh, they do Steeda. I didn't know they were so close. So, and I like track. I've always wanted to build a track car. So buying this car was my opportunity. You know, the Mustang's the best bang for your buck track car for sub 30 grand. So I decided to go ahead and get it. And now being in Florida, where we have all the close tracks next to us, I want to finally build a track car, get some seat time, get to learn the car, get to learn my reaction times, and just go out and have fun. So this is going to be an 80–90% track car, but I still want to, if I wanted to take it to a car show or Cars and Coffee or drive it to work, I'm still able to do that.
Perfect, perfect. Well, we're happy to be here. We're happy to lend you some parts and see what you think about adding some Steeda parts in the car, how it handles on track, how it feels in the street, and that nice balance between trackability and without taking too much NVH away from, you know, a pleasant driving experience as well. If you want to see the full install of all these Steeda parts on this 2018 Mustang GT, check out the Obsessed Garage YouTube channel for the full video.
I like this. You got a couple of assistants here. That's the problem. We got 2 assistants and no no foreman. This is the part I'm not sure about. They're not going to tell us that because they assume we're not freaking idiots.
Something tells me it should be going up.
So if this turns that way, like it just like freaking welded on there. Maybe we got lucky. We started on the hardest part first.
Ugh, it's going. Yeah.
Good call.
Muscle and PB Blaster. There you go.
Well, turning it the right freaking way. It really wasn't that hard once I started. Put that sucker back in there. This is great. This kind of stuff is fun when you take it out and put it back in. But I'm not counting my chickens yet.
Wrapped up day one here at Obsessed Garage with Jeff's 2018 GT Performance Package 1 car. Finished up the front end, a couple hiccups along the way, but we're really happy with how it turned out. Moving on to the rear tomorrow. Stop the hop package, really keep that rear end planted, helping out with the wheel hop and all those things like that. Jeff, what do you think?
I was really shocked. You know, this is one thing that Steeda really sets apart from the others. Everything was simple, easy, and it's bolt-on replaceable. So, and it's nice, shiny, pretty blue, like our front sway bar. So I was really excited. Everything was really smooth, really easy, apart from a couple hiccups, but that comes with every install. But so far, so great. Not good, great.
Awesome. Well, we'll get a good night's sleep tonight and hit it hard tomorrow. See y'all then. So here we are, day two at Obsessed Garage. Yesterday was a fun day for sure, working on the front suspension of that S550. We're gonna move to the rear. Just wanted to go over a couple of the parts we plan on to install. First and foremost, we'll be installing these AST rear coilovers. Personally, I've never installed actual coilover style coilovers on the rear end of an S550, so that should be a little interesting for us to install. Outside of that, we got a slew of Steeda parts to help complement that suspension, keep that IRS planted, help with wheel hop, all that sort of stuff. Got the full stop the hop kit, the rear sway bar to complete with to go along with the front sway bar on the front yesterday, along with our adjustable end links. Have our toe links as well, the alignment dowels for the rear subframe alignment kit, our vertical links with poly bushings to give us a little bit of play in there for the track, our rear subframe bushing inserts, and finally, one of my personal favorite parts is the Irs Subframe Braces. Not only help with keeping that rear end intact, another connection point between the subframe and the chassis itself, but it also helps with wheel hop and stuff like that. So in terms of the jacking rails and the shifter, stay tuned to Obsessed Garage on their YouTube channel because they will be installing those in the future. Don't think we can install all these parts in just 48 hours, but we'll do as much as we can. Now, one thing I wanted to point out was just how freaking cool this place is. I've seen Obsessed Garage on YouTube before. I've watched many of their videos. Knew that they ran a detailing business and a lot of cool parts for sale on their particular website, but I just didn't realize how cool this place is. Every aspect of this garage and this entire shop is extremely well thought out. If you look up, you'll actually see there's electric and air on all four corners of this car. So you have literally all you have to do, you don't even have to look, just turn around, reach up and grab. You can even lock your plugs into place so they don't pull out when you're working on the car. The toolboxes, I mean, absolutely everything is extremely organized. If you can't find the tool that you're looking for here, you shouldn't be working in a garage because they have literally everything. It's insane, the attention to detail, but also somewhat calming. I was a little nervous coming down here, working on the car, working with a new group of people. You never know, sometimes when you enter a situation when you're working on a car with people you may have not worked before, sometimes it goes well, sometimes it goes not so well, but having all these tools at our disposal, everything being so clean and so organized, it was just a really easy working environment yesterday, and I'm excited to get into it today. All in all, the best way I can put it is I'm literally having sensory overload. Personally, I love detailing cars, I love working on cars, I love being in a garage, so it only makes sense that Obsessed Garage is literally something I'm obsessing over.
One thing I wanted to point out is yesterday we were having this conversation with the group of guys here towards the end of the day after we were done wrenching. And Jeff's kind of the only Mustang guy here. Now Matt, the main host, he had a Shelby GT350 before, so he was familiar with Steeda and familiar with the Mustangs and working on them, that sort of thing. But a lot of the other guys here don't really know the ins and outs of the Mustangs like, you know, our community does. And so with more familiarity with like European cars, BMWs, Volkswagens, Porsches, stuff like that, and some JDM as well, it was interesting to see their reaction and us working on this car and how easy it is to work on these cars. One thing I personally love about Mustangs is that Ford puts so much heart and soul and engineering into these cars, knowing that when they ultimately get into an enthusiast's hands, they're able to wrench on it pretty easily. Take things apart. It's Lincoln Logs, Tinker Toys, Legos, whatever, however you want to put it. But the best part about it is, you know, to do a coilover swap or swap out tension links and lateral links and different IRS components, it's not that difficult to wrench on, unlike, you know, a Volkswagen where there's a special tool for everything that you possibly want to do. So all I can say is thank you, Ford, for building a car that's a clean slate that allows us to cater a build like this towards the track or towards the street, or heck, towards car shows too. There's nothing wrong with that. But at the end of the day, we're just excited to be able to be here in this awesome atmosphere, doing what we love best, working on cars. Wrapped it up day 2 here at Obsessed Garage. Finished up almost everything with this 2018 Mustang build. Left a couple things for them to do next week, but all in all, I'd say it went pretty smoothly. Couple little hiccups along the way, but we learned a lot. And Matt, what'd you think?
Yeah, I think, you know, now we have to play with the right height adjustment, and then has to go obviously get aligned. But I'm surprised when I saw all those bushings and fittings, I'm like, oh boy, this is going to be difficult. But, you know, without a lift, it wouldn't have been super fun. But I mean, to have everything just bolted right in, so we didn't have any major issues with any sort of having to press out any bushings. I mean, so I think anybody could do all this stuff. I mean, it's unbolt, rebolt, torque it properly, and that's about it. So, yeah, I'm pretty pleased. I think, you know, we're going to lower the rear a little bit more. The front camber and toe is way off, so we might adjust that a little bit here, but it has to go to alignment shop, and we'll put the jacking rails, and so we'll have separate videos on all that stuff on my channel of all the individual parts. We'll do the short shifter as well, probably next week or maybe the following. And but yeah, I'm pleased. I think this is a lot easier than I thought it would be. We probably have about 8 hours in total, something like that. So I thought it was going to take longer. So the sway bars were easy. And then, like I said, all the fittings or all the components just bolted right up. It's great. Thanks for your help.
Of course, I was happy to come down and meet you guys and check out your awesome facility. Be sure to check out Obsessed Garage. They're on all the social media platforms and especially their YouTube channel as well. And Matt?
Yeah, appreciate it, man. I'm glad you were here. Otherwise, I would have had to read the manual myself. So, yeah, thanks a lot. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Appreciate it.
Thank you.